Hey guys, welcome back to another clapped out classic video. I've been working hard on this car, trying to get it a little more reliable and better. I'm just going to be doing a lot of stupid little stuff to make it better. You saw the video of it going down the road, but there's still quite a few things that need to be addressed before it actually hits the road and goes highway speeds and stuff like that. One of those things being the hood latch, which wasn't functioning when I bought the car. I got the hood back on it, you can see, and the hood's in really nice shape, nice patina. As far as the latch goes, here it is. The reason why it didn't work all this time, I never looked into it because I went and dived right into the engine swap, but it's missing a spring that goes from here to here. So I got this spring, and it's a little bit bigger than the factory, you can see, but I'm going to try to make that work and cut it down a little bit. I'm going to use this as the return spring for the lever, and then I'm going to move this down here for this part. So, and I'll make sure everything's all good and secure. It's pretty important. But what this video is mostly about is reupholstering the seat. I picked up this seat cover for 25 bucks at Walmart, and it's got a nice fancy design on it. And I picked up some foam for about 6 or 7 bucks as well. You can see we got a nice big hole in the cushion right there. So that's where the main focus will be for the cushioning. The rest of the seat's in pretty decent shape. So I'm gonna dive in. Oh yeah, I picked up some Gabriel Hijacker shocks for the rear. Just kind of get it up a little bit and take some loads a little better if I have passengers in the back or a full tank of gas or something. So I gotta install those this weekend, among a bunch of other things. I got these fog lights here with the built-in turn signals. I'm going to put those in the front for safety, because the factory turn signals are really kind of small and barely noticeable. They're not very bright either. So I'm going to put these somewhere where it's not going to look ugly and not change the look of the car, and somewhere where you'll be able to see that bright amber LED turn signal. And then it also has the fog light as well, which will be really handy. Someday I want to do LED conversion on the headlights, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm also going to be repairing the floor. Everybody thinks this car is perfect. It is in really good shape. However, it has been in New York all its life, and it did sit in a barn for, I think, 30 years or something like that. So you can see there are quite a few air vents in the floor. You know, weight reduction. Nothing structural, just kind of crunchy, and just not to that point of, you know, your feet falling through the floor, but where it's kind of crunchy and it feels weird to put your feet down on the floor. So I'm going to do some repair work on that, and I'm going to be using that right there, nice galvanized sign, and those. Between the two, it should have a pretty solid floor. Someday I might put a floor pan in it, probably not. We'll see. Right now it's just going to be a daily driver and more focused on the mechanical parts of the car than that kind of thing. So once I get that all squared away, I'll be able to put the carpet back in, which I have. Well, it's more like a mat, but put that back in and go from there. So I'm gonna get started. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, I gotta bolt the airplane on. You gotta have the airplane. Really glad that this thing didn't get stolen or lost in the 65 years this car has been around. Alright, I got the hood latch all finished up. You can see I put that spring there and that one there. It works really good. There it is. Works great. So I'm gonna get that in. Got the airplane on. You can see the chrome's kind of pitted and stuff, but it kind of fits the theme of the rest of the car. Kind of looks cool. I mean, the bumpers are in pretty rough shape, but I don't have any plans of re-chroming them or replacing them or anything. You know, just patina. So alright, so shuts real good. Opens nice. I'm happy with it. Time to move on. You can see right here the line really doesn't line up with the fender because, you know, hood's pushed in the bottom. It's actually cracked right there. So it kind of is bowed up and then goes back down. This car has been in a couple fender benders. You can see this nice dent right here and it's cracked. And looks like something, some edge hit right here. You can see. And this whole piece right here is actually bent down a little bit. And you can see this crack right here. Hit something there. And oh yeah, and then the big dent right there. So, you know, seen a couple little fender benders, but nothing too bad. Probably maybe it's deer damage, I don't know. Well, it's Saturday morning. I kind of got a late start, you know. The work week kind of catches up to me on Saturday. So I like to sleep in a little bit later, but about 10 o'clock. And I think what I'm gonna do, since I got the hood all wrapped up, probably gonna start working on the floor repair that I talked about earlier. Get that done first, and then work on the seat. And then I gotta work on more important things. I would like to get the fuel gauge figured out. Alright, there's the sign. Really solid. Now I can put the carpet on. Well, this carpet really should be replaced. Well, it's actually not a carpet, it's a mat, but I'm just gonna throw it back in for now, and eventually I'll get a new one. I'm gonna take this crap off though. Alright, check it out. Just put the carpet in. That made a big difference. It looks really good. Can't even tell there's a street sign under it. It's nice and hard, not crunchy or anything. You can just see it through those couple holes there where the original gas pedal mounted. Everything here is good. The pedal's got enough room underneath to travel and brake and everything, so yeah, it looks good. Alright, well, I emptied 3 rolls of duct tape on here, and now I'm all out, but you can see I kind of got like a webbing thing going on to make it strong. Kind of built up the corner a little bit to keep it together. The other side's even more layers, and I got the top a little bit where it was all torn. So now I got a good base to put my cover on. Well, there it is, guys. It took a lot more time than I had planned, but looks good. Got it all tied up nice. Feels like brand new underneath. I'm sure it'll settle down a little bit, but that's alright. It's way better than it was. So, yeah. Someday, I keep saying this, but someday I'll probably either reupholster this seat myself, figure out how to do it, or have somebody do it. But that's probably going to be way down the road. I still haven't gotten the one in the old Chevy reupholstered, and it's been almost 8 years since I bought that truck, and quite a few years since I finished putting it back together. So yeah, probably gonna be a while, but you know, that's way better than it was, like I said. So interior looking pretty good, and now it's time to do some more important stuff. I gotta figure out the fuel gauge and get that installed. What I got here is the 0 to 90 ohm gauge, which will work with my sending unit. I got 4 wires. This thing didn't really come with instructions, so I gotta figure out. It's got some markings here. It's got S, L, G, and I. Not really sure what all that is, so I'm gonna have to do a bunch of trial and error to figure out how this works. Alright, well, I got my 3-pod thing installed, and temperature gauge back in, and I got some wires run here, and gotta figure out how this gauge works. Show you what I did in the trunk. Alright, so in here I had to run a ground. I ran a 10 gauge ground wire from the sending unit bolt here to that metal there, the latch, to get my sending unit ground and the gas tank grounded. Kind of forgot to do that, so got that done. Well, I got the fuel gauge all wired up and it works good and everything. I didn't really do much of filming because it took me a while to figure out how to get it all wired up. But it works good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna work on this engine light here. Well, this is the original brake light. You can see brake on light, and it goes right in that hole right there. What I'm gonna do here, since that wire right there, that tan wire, is the wire from the computer, and that's a ground wire for a light. So I can't, well, I could use the original bulb, but I want to go LED and make things a little more reliable. So if I can get this thing apart, there it is. I took the original bulb out and socket out, and I got this just penny light from Tractor Supply, $5, LED, and it actually fits right in there. You can see there's a lens, but it fits right in there like that, and this part that holds it into the hole slips right over the wire. It's gonna work out really well to put that back in the dash and look original. Alright guys, got everything finished up. Don't mind the noisy fuel pump. That's gonna be changed out to a better one anyway. Thinking about going Bosch or Walbro. Kind of leaning toward the Walbro. Anyway, I got the light all wired up. It works good. So I got an engine light, very obvious one. And you can see the fuel gauge. And that's about right, because I got 5 gallons of gas in there. Well, probably more like 3 now, after running it quite a bit. And It's showing just under a quarter, so it's a 20-gallon fuel cell, so perfect. Alright guys, well I'm really getting bad about hitting the record button. Really just kind of get into it sometimes, but got the air shocks installed. You can't really see them, but there's one right there. I ran the lines up here, had a lot of extra, and I put the fill up right there. So did that, and I also got the seat belts installed. I'll put some better ones in it eventually. These ones will do for now. So it's looking pretty good. Just topping off the coolant. I do have a small coolant leak that I need to address, coming from the thermostat housing. I'll get to that eventually. Really don't feel like taking it apart right now. Just drips a little bit. But I might take this thing on a ride. Well, I'm taking it down the road. I just got gas. Gas gauge is reading about 3/4 the tank. Should be about right. Speedometer is somehow working, but it's definitely not accurate. It's not overheating. I got 190 degrees. Not really sure how fast I'm going, so I'm trying to keep it easy right now. So yeah, it's doing good. Car is 100% legal, other than registration that's out of date. So yeah, see, not sure how far I want to take it, but it's doing good so far. Doesn't handle very well, but it is a 65-year-old car, so can't expect too much. Well, made it to Dollar General and back. I got there, got out, got what I needed, and when I came back there was a huge puddle of coolant underneath, so I didn't film anything. I just kind of jumped in and got back home, pretended like I didn't see that, and got to figure out where that's coming from. It might be the same spot I told you about, but it seemed like a pretty substantial leak. And then on the way home, of course, it was running a little on the hot side. I was running at about 200. It's back down to 190 now. So other than that, it goes down the road really smoothly. There's no driveline vibration or anything. The handling really sucks. Other than the handling, it just goes down the road, like floats right down the road, no vibration, but definitely darts around. Probably needs a little bit of suspension work, but brakes work good, and overall pretty good. So that's all I'm gonna do. All I'm gonna do in this video. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned. I'm sure you'll see more on this car. The main part of the build though is done, and everything that's left is not really worth filming. And next up we'll just be enjoying it and car shows and stuff like that. So see you guys in the next one.